right, welcome back to Advocacy in Motion. For those of you who have seen the show before, you know that we are about giving a vision and a voice to nonprofit organizations and individuals making an impact in our community. And do we ever have that with us today? I want to introduce our guest, Tara Storch, CEO and founder of Taylor's Gift.
Hi.
And
how are you?
Carly Patterson, who you know as an Olympic champion. And we'll visit them a little bit more. But first, I want to take a minute to thank our presenting sponsor, Niagara. And I have to do this right because our guests are here in the studio with us. And I want to say hello to Jenny and Holly and Macy out there. And for those who don't know, Niagara is the leading manufacturer distributor of water-conserving plumbing products. And their stealth toilets save up to 60% of water, which means up to 60% of cost savings. And I'm especially proud of their work with nonprofit organizations and with multi-unit family projects and affordable housing, and saving those people, those projects, money where it means the most. So thanks again for Niagara for your sponsorship and allowing us to visit with so many great nonprofit organizations and individuals. Our guest today, Carly Patterson. You know her as an Olympic champion. She's a singer, songwriter, motivational speaker, and a mom. She's done about everything. And I was watching a documentary popped up about you a while back.
Okay.
About your Olympic gold medal, and you were so young. We've known each other about 10 years or so, I guess, maybe. But to achieve that at such a young age, and when did you come to the point in your life that you said, I want to do this? I'm going for it. I see where you were all over the world as a youngster.
Yeah. I was barely 16 when I won. So very, very young, pretty much the youngest you can be to participate in the Olympics, which is crazy that we're almost 20 years out from that too. I think we're about 18 years or something, 18 coming up on 19, which is wild. But I mean, honestly, I knew it's what I wanted to do from the age of 6 at my cousin's gymnastics birthday party. It was just the most random chance. She wasn't a gymnast. She just wanted to have her birthday party at a gymnastics place. And that was my first time to step foot in a gym or really know what gymnastics was. And I just fell in love with it from that moment on, and begged my parents for a few months after to please put me in the sport. And then it just kind of took off from there once they finally did. And I started going once a week, then 3 times a week, then every day, then twice a day. I was there all day, every day. And that's where I wanted to be from the very beginning.
What would you say to young, whether they're athletes or scholars or whatever their dream might be, what would you say to them today when they're trying to figure out what they want to do or what they have a passion for?
Yeah, I would say to try every path, try every outlet. As you were introducing me and you were saying, Carly is a singer and songwriter and gymnast and mom and speaker. It's like, yeah, I've gone down quite a few different paths in my life.
Successfully, I might add.
Well, some more successful than others, but it's okay. There are things that I tell kids, anyone in life, to go after all of those things that you are curious about, that, have a little bit of a spark, something that, you just feel like you want to go after and try it, because no matter what, whether it works out or it doesn't, you're going to learn from it. You're going to grow from it. You're going to become better from it. And although I never got a Grammy or, #1 hit single or anything in my singing career, I did learn a lot. And it was something that scared me and made me nervous, and I had to work hard at, and it was something totally different than gymnastics and what I was used to and what I knew. And so sometimes putting ourselves in that situation where we're really pushed outside of our comfort zone, or, we may be super nervous about it, but still going for it is something I would tell anybody to do. And something that I've lived by for a long time that my coach always told me was hard work never disappears. And I know it's a little cliche to, tell people, you need to work hard, but I think more than ever these days, people need to know that. Like, you have to work hard at whatever it is you do in your life. And my coach would tell me that in the gym when I was struggling, you know, getting a skill or a routine, or things weren't coming together. Or maybe it was just, I was really having to have patience for my hard work to show up and to pay off. And in gymnastics, you know, certain skills, certain routines, moving up a level, that stuff can take years, months. It can take a lot of time. You have to be really patient. So he would always say, Carly, hard work never disappears. And if you don't give up, if you keep trying, if you keep at it, you know, you keep putting in that work, that time, that effort, it will show up. And it might not be that day or that week or that month. It might take years for certain things. But if you continue to just put in the work and do what you need to do, your hard work will show up and pay off at some point.
That's terrific. We first met at the Odd Places, the Cadillac General Motors assembly plant. And Tara, you were Taylor's Gift, one of our 6 charities that we were spotlighting then, and Carly was supporting us. Tell us a little bit about how the relationship between you and Carly came about in the support and what it means for Taylor's Gift, and then tell us a little bit about the background of Taylor's Gift.
So yeah, we met Carly during that Cadillac Escalade promotion, and I remember we were at, I think, a mall is where all the tables were set up, right?
Yeah.
And
we were at a few places that day.
yeah, that's right. And so we just connected really easy. It was just a really easy conversation and connection. And then after that promotion, we just kept in touch and have been friends since then, which was about 12 years ago. So yeah, it's been great. And it's been a great relationship. I love our friendship. I love our friendship. So sweet.
Always pick up.
Yeah, that's right.
Where we left off.
That's exactly right.
That is great. Well, tell us a little bit about the background of Taylor's Gift.
So Taylor's Gift Foundation really started with a tragedy for our family. It was spring break of 2010. We were on our spring break vacation in Beaver Creek, Colorado, having a great time as a family. And it was on that last run of our first day where my husband Todd and Taylor and our son Ryan wanted to have one last run before the slopes closed. And it was on that run that Taylor had an accident and she went off into the trees and hit a tree. And it was from that accident that we lost her. And she was care flighted to a hospital where my husband and I were met with a huge group of doctors who quickly told us that it does not look like she's going to survive. And I remember we had a nurse come to us after they had done everything they could to save her life and say, she's a beautiful candidate for organ donation, and would you consider it? And we had never talked about organ donation in our family, not even once. I think I may have checked it off on my driver's license, but it was not a conversation. But when we were asked that question, we knew if Taylor would have been asked that, she would have said yes. She was such an others-centered, giving kid. And Taylor went on to save and improve the lives of 5 people with the gifts of her heart, both kidneys, her pancreas, liver, and she gave sight with her cornea. And, you know, from that, we came back from Colorado to start our life over, and organ donation was something we started to really look into because she had saved so many lives, and we wanted to share more about that. But we started our life over without her, right? So we had a choice at that time in our life to cave up in the grief or find the good. And the good was that Taylor saved lives. And so that's why we started Taylor's Gift Foundation, initially with the purpose to share the importance of organ donation and how people can outlive themselves. I mean, that's how we kind of changed the conversation with organ donation, because you sit around the table with your family and friends and you ask your family and friends, do you want to be an organ donor? Many people think of death, but organ and tissue donation is 100% about life. And so the way we change that conversation is you can talk to your friends and family about, how do you want to outlive yourself? How do you want to leave a lasting difference in the lives of others?
I think that's terrific, and I know you guys have grown in so many different facets over the years of the helping the families and organ donors, and it's just really been remarkable. Being friends with you and your husband Todd, and I saw a podcast you did recently. I don't remember the gentleman's name, but you were talking about that, about the impact immediately having to make those choices,
right?
And how hard it is, for a family. And then on your website, your son Ryan talks about having nowhere to turn. What do you do when this happens, and how do you make those decisions? Tell us a little bit about the decision you had to make at that time when you and your husband Todd decided we're going to make something good out of this. We're going to get, start the foundation, or we're going to make something positive out of this.
Yeah, so when we came back from Colorado, I remember my husband Todd was so focused on the good, which was that Taylor saved lives. And so he started doing some research about organ donation and learned that in April of 2010, our great state of Texas only had 2% of people who were registered to be an organ donor. And that really was shocking. And so it became almost like his purpose to change that. How do we let people know more about the importance of saving lives, right? And so that's where the foundation was really sparked, was because of that, letting people know the importance of it, because it completely changed the path of our life, and the importance that Taylor just not only touched 5 families, but the ripple effect of good that happened through that, we wanted to share. And that's how the foundation really was sparked.
Oh, that's terrific. And Carly, I know you've been supportive. We've done several fundraisers and influence events with you. And what do you think? I know you've helped us with some other organizations as well, with our Cure Duchenne programs as well. And your influence as a celebrity, for nonprofit organizations, how do you feel about that? What is your role, and I know what motivates you is to give back to the community, because I know we've talked about that before. So,
yeah, well, like Tara said earlier, when our relationship started, back after that event we did, it was just this connection, and we just hit it off right away. And it was like, I don't know, what we do, but we've got to do something. We've got to work together. Like, let's build this relationship together, and I'd love to be involved. And they really helped me understand so much more and bring awareness to myself about organ donation, because it was also something I never thought about. And I don't know if I had it on my driver's license either at the time. And so it was something that, like she said, and what they do, and bringing this awareness to it, because it was something I never thought about, because it was kind of a scary subject. And so they're kind of taking all of the scariness out of it, bringing that positive, that hope, and that light to the subject that needs to be brought, for people to know what they can do and bring that awareness within their own families and help save lives, if in that case. And so I know for us, it just brought up, what we needed to make sure we were prepared for and what we needed to do. And I'm always like, Tara, whatever you need from me, like, I'm always happy to be on board and happy to help and do whatever I can. And I just think what they're doing now is amazing. And to take such a hard, just unimaginable tragedy and to bring good out of it is just really admirable.
I know when I first found out about the foundation, it was such a ground level organization, and I was so impressed with the many volunteers you had and all the people that I met and working. In fact, I ordered a shirt from you, a Taylor's Gift shirt, and I asked you about the distribution of how you distribute your stuff. You said, well, we go out to the garage and we get it and we put it in an envelope and we put it in the mail. And so that's where it started, and it's done so much over the years, and you've grown into so many different directions. I think that's just absolutely terrific. I want to come back and talk a little bit about where we are now, the future, and what you guys are doing now. But I want to mention also one of our other sponsors, Piranha Haven Gift Shop in Richardson. And you guys know my daughter, Alex, who she and her mother own and run the shop. She was our talent coordinator. We keep going back to the Escalade launch. And I remember seeing her leading Randy White around in his Ronald McDonald outfit and whatever, and when we were shooting the PSA commercials. But Piranha Haven's been a good sponsor of ours, and they're really great. And Piranha means life force or energy, and that's what their little shop is all about. And you'll find art from local artists, handmade goods, merchandise from free trade villages. Plus, they have psychic readers there. They have a psychic fair the fourth Saturday of every month. And anybody can go online and pranahaven.com and order from there and see the lineup of the psychic readers they have and all the good stuff they're doing. So we appreciate them. And if you guys, anybody goes in there, say hello to Alex. Tell her dad said hi. So we appreciate that. Like I said, I want to talk a little bit about where you are now, because everything has grown so much now. And as an organ donor family, you know what that is all about.
Right.
And I'm pleased to see what you guys have done with your Kindred Hearts program and focusing on the families. Tell us about that. That is so wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, this program, I think, is exactly what the foundation has been made for. When we first started, it was all about more education and the importance of organ donation. But our heart has always been with the donor family side. And you'll hear me say donor family quite a bit. And a donor family is really a family whose loved one was able to give the gift of life through organ and tissue donation. We're called donor families. And throughout the years since Taylor's Gift started, we always saw this gap of emotional and grief support specifically for donor families, because a donor family's grief is kind of unique in the sense that we have this grief from the sudden loss, because that's where organ donation usually happens, is a sudden loss mixed with the silver lining of gratitude that your loved ones saved lives. So really, organ and tissue donation is where grief and gratitude really share the same space. And it's a very unique kind of grief. And we saw this gap where donor families were not really receiving the grief support they really, really needed. So we wanted to step in that space. And we tried to a few years ago, but honestly, it wasn't the right time, because mental health wasn't something that people talked about quite a bit. And now it is something that is very looked for and received and accepted. And so it was kind of the perfect time for us to start our Kindred Hearts program. And our Kindred Hearts program really provides the critical emotional grief support to donor families so they never have to grieve that loss alone. And it's a free grief support service. I mean, could you imagine providing your family grief support for an entire year or more, on how much that would cost? And it's a program that we provide for free.
I think that's terrific. I know you're backed by so many institutions, and the credibility behind it is growing. And you're really one of the first to step out there and say, hey, we want to help the families.
Right. Well, I mean, there's a lot of organizations that really will want to help the donor side, but the grief support has been something that's just been really on our heart, because when this happened to us, we had very few support resources that specifically understood, number one, organ donation, but number two, just people surrounding us who had been through a traumatic grief, And so for us to be able to provide this peer-to-peer support for donor families that they desperately need has been pretty amazing. We provide them with a caring guide, which is an individual. It's a peer-to-peer relationship, someone who has truly been through a traumatic loss, to guide them and to be there, and they're right beside them to walk them through this journey for as long as it takes. And we also have bi-monthly support groups for these families to be surrounded by others who truly understand. So this program is now expanded into 7 states, with more growing, and we see it continuing across the nation.
Oh, I think that is terrific. Carly, we're talking about growing and moving on, and I saw that you are a wonderful motivational speaker. I see a lot of stuff that you are doing, and I looked at stuff and that you are redefining success. I saw this quote from you. Yeah. Tell us about what you're talking about now and how you're reaching other people and with a new message and of success and help of what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I really just kind of go and talk to all groups, whether it's corporations or, gymnasts or, young, old, whatever, whatever the audience may be. And I just share kind of my story of how we can all go from our best to better and reach these new heights in our lives and redefine what success can look like. And, I just am able to talk so much about the lessons that I learned while I was a gymnast in the gym, those things that really just stuck with me throughout my life now that I can apply to everyday life, but then also just the lessons that I've learned post gymnastics, and just all the ups and downs and the things that, I've been through. And like I said before, the different paths that I've taken and the things that I've learned along the way. I just feel like I have a lot that I can share to help people and redefine that success in their lives. Cause a lot of what I talk about too can be setbacks or just, experiencing distraction or whatever, and all of those things. None of that has to be, an end point. All of that can be a learning and a growing experience, depending on how you want to look at it. And it can be just a platform to launch you into being better, because sometimes I think we can think we're at our best, or I know personally there have been times in my life where I'm like, I'm at a good place. I'm at my best. I'm doing my best. I'm at my best. And then you realize, and you go through something, and then you grow and you come out the other side of it, and you're like, wow, yeah, I'm so much better now. So it's like when we think we're at our best, we can always improve. We can always get better. We can always, strive to kind of go higher and go to that next level.
Well, I know that part of the, what really roots you and makes you kind of go to that next level is your faith.
Yeah.
And me too. I mean, that is something
Absolutely.
that is so important. This is one of the main reasons we've been able to kind of take that next step forward is our faith. And you too.
Absolutely.
I know that's major number one priority in your family and your life too.
Yes,
I think that's,
absolutely.
That is terrific. What's next? You see something? What are you doing tomorrow? What's next in your
tomorrow,
your growth?
I'll just be at my kids' Christmas chapel.
There you go.
My kids are in preschool, and I've got 3 little ones, 5 and under. So life has been very crazy and busy, just with that being full-time mom. And that's, always been my top main priority, is just raising my kids, being there with them, being, mom 24/7. And then all the rest of opportunities and things kind of come second. And I just want to be there as much as I can, because I know as soon as they get big and they're all in school, like I won't have the time that I have right now with them. So I'm super focused on them and just being present and with them for everything, and raising them as well as I can, and raising them to know God, and just be good human beings.
Are they in gymnastics class yet?
Nobody's in gym yet. We've talked about it, and we need to get, I've got 1 daughter and 2 sons. And so we need to get Emmeline in and just see, she likes it. She's really strong. She's kind of built like me. But she's a little clumsy. So I don't know. We'll just have to fill that one out. Right now they're in soccer and t-ball, and they've been loving that. And I have been enjoying so much as a mom watching them play sport, even though it's on the lowest, littlest, cutest level. It has been so fun to just watch them out there and just do a sport and love it and have so much fun.
Oh, I think that's great. I'm the same way with my kids and my grandkids. You can't get enough of watching them grow. And,
no, it
and
fills your
speaking
heart.
of Alex, we have another one on the way. She is expecting, and we know it's going to be a girl in May. So
congrats.
Another granddaughter. So that is great. So what's next for you? Tara, what are you doing tomorrow?
Well, getting ready for Christmas, for
there
sure.
You go, for sure.
But we're expecting our first grandchild in February.
I
Very
saw
excited about that. But, the continuing to grow the foundation, and we just had a really big fundraiser last week, which was great. And just continuing to help more and more donor families is kind of where my focus is right now.
I know you're proud of your children, Ryan
Ryan and Peyton are amazing. Ryan is, going to be a dad soon, and Peyton graduates this weekend.
From where was that now? A&M? No, it wasn't
Texas
A&M,
Tech.
was it?
Yeah, she's graduating. Well, she's Texas Tech Health Science Center
There you
because
go.
she's graduating to be a nurse. So she'll
wonderful.
graduate this weekend, and she'll start work in Dallas at Texas Health Dallas of labor and delivery. So she'll be a labor and delivery nurse in February. So very excited for her. It's her lifelong dream.
Isn't that wonderful? I think it's great that we finally got the Texas Tech in there for
With all of our Aggies.
all you Aggies.
That's right.
So, Carly, I know you're a motivational speaker. You're doing corporate speaking stuff. Is there a way people can get in touch with you, or do you have some place that if somebody would like to have you come speak to their groups or whatever, how they can make that happen?
Yeah, you can go to my website. It's carlyspeaks.com, or any of my social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter. They have the links to all that stuff as well.
All right, and I know you have websites and people can get in touch with you. And,
Yeah.
and like I said, I saw some wonderful videos on your website the other day of the Kindred Hearts programs and
Yeah.
stuff. And how else can they get in touch with you or make donations or help or volunteer?
Yeah, if you go to taylorsgift.org, you can. We have a link for our Kindred Hearts program, so you can go there and look. But if you want to give to our mission, we have a give link, right at the very top where you can do, because the only way we can really support these families is from the generosity of others. And so, we would encourage donations if people are willing.
Oh, that's great. I want to thank both of you so much for your time and coming by, and hope we can help and keep working together and make this grow and even better. And I want to thank our friends at Niagara for their sponsorship and making this possible, and to our friends at Piranha Haven as well. So thanks again, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks.